Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be covering the basics of sewing. For those of you who are new to into sewing and you just got your first sewing machine and you want to get a hang of what this sewing thing is all about, maybe making your own clothes at home or better still sewing for people, this video is perfect for you. So today I'm going to just be covering the basics that you need to know when going into sewing. So the first thing you need to do is learning how to thread your sewing machine. Now this is an essential part of sewing. You also have to, depending on the kind of sewing machine that you want to use, whether it's the 2 lion or the tabletop sewing machine, you must know how to thread your sewing. I'm sure there are a couple of videos here that will show you guys how to thread sewing machine, whichever one you want to use. And also if you need me to demonstrate how to thread a sewing machine, I'm going to do a separate video for that here. You can just leave a comment in the comment section down below. So the threading aspect of it is not as difficult as it seems. There are some sewing machine that come with, which was all sewing machine comes with a manual, and you can learn how from it. You can learn how to thread your sewing machine, learn how to put your bobbin. Very, very important. The next step is hand sewing. This part is not necessary. I won't say it is as important, but it's also very important skill to have, because there are times where you might not even be in like where you have a sewing machine or where any sewing machine is around, and you need to like maybe patch up something or quickly stitch up something. Hell, there are even some clothes that they make now that we need you need to have perfect hand sewing skill to be able to effectively stitch up that dress, to stitch clothes on people's body right now, which is called the draping method. And that's like for advanced people that are really deeply into sewing. But for the hand sewing technique, we have the straight stitch, then we have the back stitch, then the whip stitch. So hand sewing is also another essential part of learning how to sew, or if you're just getting into the sewing as a hobby or to sew for other tip you need to know is measuring and cutting your fabric. Now this is a more advanced skill, but in order for you to be able to cut and sew some styles that you see online or offline or through Pinterest or anything, you must learn how to measure and cut your fabric. This is very, very important. In my subsequent videos, I'm going to touch a little deeper on taking the accurate body measurements, and also different kinds of fabric types we have out there. If your measurement is not good, your dress might likely not come out the way you expected it to come out. So measurement and cutting of fabric is also another essential tip you must learn when learning how to sew. But not the least tip is learning to sew a straight line. Now there are different methods in my school that I used to teach people how to sew a straight line. Firstly, you can get a little piece of fabric, then use your ruler to draw like straight line on it, or you can also use a paper to draw straight lines on it accurately, because most likely when you are sewing clothes don't are usually like straight line before you start sewing curves, and when you are sewing like maybe skirts, or you are trying to do like a 360 peplum, and or maybe you are trying to sew like a circle skirt, or maybe you are trying to do like a gown. Those are like the times when you are sewing like in circles or you are sewing in curves. But majorly when you are sewing, at least as a beginner, the first thing you need to learn is sew straight lines. So there are many ways you can practice. The first thing is you can get a paper, like I said, use your ruler and your biro to draw like a straight line, then put it in your machine and sew straight lines accurate. By the time you are able to master that, I'm sure every other type of sewing will become easier for you. But constantly, you also have to constantly practice. I won't say these are all the essential sewing tips you have to know. There are also other essential sewing tips you have to know. But for the sake of this video, this is like the very basics you need to know when getting into sewing, or if you are just getting into the sewing maybe business, or you are learning it for your hobby. If you have any question or you need me to do a part 2 of this video, please don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. I will catch you guys in my next video.